The value of service. Philip, an old fisherman from Capernaum, deeply moved by Jesus' reflections on a passage from Isaiah, began commenting on the difference between the just and the unjust, aiming to highlight the value of holiness on earth. The master listened calmly and, perhaps to prevent excessive opinions, gently recounted, "A certain Pharisee of irreproachable conduct had attained a position of immense public respect. He spent entire days in the temple in constant prayer and fasting. No one knew the law better than he did. From Moses to the last prophets, he had memorized the most important texts of the Revelation. Whenever he passed through the streets, the esteem he had earned was so great that even children would bow reverently before him. He had consecrated himself to the Holy of Holies and led a flawless life among the sinners of his time. He ate frugally, wore an unblemished tunic, and refrained from speaking with anyone considered impure. However, it so happened that a great plague struck a city near Jerusalem. An angel of the Lord descended, eager to aid the sick and needy in the name of divine providence. But he needed the diligent hands of a man through whom he could work swiftly for the benefit of the suffering and the afflicted. He thought of turning to the holy Pharisee, who was well known in the heavenly court for his repeated vows of spiritual perfection. But the devout man was so deeply immersed in his contemplations of purity that there was no inner space left for even the slightest thought of helping the victims of the epidemic. How could he collaborate with the divine messenger in that task if he avoided even the slightest contact with the common world, which he saw in his mind as a valley of filth? The angel persisted in his appeal. However, the plague was relentless and allowed no delays. The messenger withdrew and turned to other lovers of the law. None, however, felt capable of assisting. No one was willing to take the risk. Pressed by the urgent demands of service, the heavenly envoy came upon a former criminal who had truly resolved to change his life. Through the invisible threads of thought, he invited him to follow, and the old thief, sincerely transformed, did not hesitate. He obeyed the gentle compulsion and immediately devoted himself, with the spontaneity of robust and genuine cooperation, to the ministry of aid and salvation. He buried unclaimed corpses, improvised remedies suited to the situation, spread encouragement, brought relief to the afflicted, rekindled the courage of the sick, saved countless children threatened by the disease, and created channels of comfort and hope. In doing so, he won deep friendships in heaven and advanced in a remarkable way on the path to paradise. Those present took in the little story with a mixture of admiration and disappointment, and since no one said a word, the Lord added, after a long pause, "Virtue is always great and worthy of veneration, but it must not become like a rare jewel that serves no purpose. If love covers a multitude of sins, the sanctifying service it inspires can grant converted sinners the company of angels long before idle saints may enjoy the heavenly fellowship." And noticing the listeners had fallen into a deep silence, the Lord closed the household worship of the good news so that rest might bring his companions multiplied blessings of peace and reflection beneath the starlit sky.